Supposing your memory just disappears right now, vanishes, phew, completely at this point in time, bam. You can't remember your name, you can't remember your birthdays, you can't remember your father's face, you can't remember your mother's face, you can't remember nothing, you can't remember your friends' names, you can't remember, you used to be in love probably, you can't remember your first love, or maybe she broke your heart, supposedly. And you can't remember the heartbreak. You can't even remember my beautiful, my handsome face. You can't remember nothing right now, it just goes away. Or supposing you woke up in a building and everywhere in the building is like quiet, silence. There's a crack on the wall, cracks with, you see pictures on the frame, on the wall. Then you see, let's see, the saint of the building is familiar to you, but you can't remember. You see the pictures of people on the frame, but you don't know who those people are because you can't remember who they are. Or you look around and you see some clothes, maybe torn clothes on the bedside or on the table, on the sitting room, and you don't know how it got there or who tore it. How would that feel like? Well, see that terrifying silence? That's how the world would be without history. Yes. History is not just names and dates. No, it's not just 1997, 90. Why did I mention 1997? It's not 1998. Why am I mentioning 1990s? It's not 1600s. Why did I like 1600s, by the way? Okay, that was when they discovered, I think, what they discovered in 1600s. I made a lecture on that. By the way, history is not just about dates and names. History is not about kings and wars and what have you. History is why we are where we are right now in the world, and it's why you are behaving the way you probably behave. I may not like the way you behave, but history is why you are actually behaving like the way you are. Why did my tongue just twist? I'm talking fast. History is why you behave the way you behave. It's the reason why everything in the world is happening the way it's happening. History. Now, if you switch on your TV now today, you might just be hearing about wars. Like, we're always killing ourselves. I don't know why we don't like ourselves as human beings. We're always fighting ourselves. So there are wars everywhere. Now, supposing you have a child and your child asks you, why are there wars everywhere in the world? Every day there's war going on somewhere in the world, or there's a threat of war going on somewhere in the world. So supposing you ask that question, or as a nation now, for instance, we ask ourselves, why are we here? I mean, for instance, see our nation now, we're considered to be behind compared to the world. It's very annoying. We are considered to be, will I even say, it's not a good word to use, but third class, kind of third world. Can you imagine? So supposing you were wondering why, as a nation, we may be considered to be backwards, where other people are here, we are here. Wait, what am I even saying? Other people are here, we are here. Unfortunately. Now, supposing you are having that concern and wondering why, guess what tells you the answer to that? History. History is not just about people, anyway. Sometimes you know the history about why are we using phones? History of phones. The history of the spoon in your kitchen. It has a history. Social media has a history, for instance. My being online with you right now. History. So, if you look at everything, there's actually a history attached to it. And history is like a mirror. Like, for instance, for us, it's a mirror that shows us ourselves. It shows the good sides of us that we don't like to see. Okay, we like to see the good side of us. It shows the bad side of us we don't like to see. And the good sides of us that we did well, like, yeah, humanity, win, humanity. Hatred, zero. And that's history. So history is a reflection. And it's not just like a picture, sort of. It's like a map. Is it? Yeah, it's like a map. It shows us where you're coming from, and it shows us where we are headed to. We should pay close attention to the history. So the question now goes, is history always true? And the answer to that is no. History is not always true because history is written by people. And supposing a person, let's put it this way, let's be very realistic, let's be very objective. Some people are noble, yes, but some people are selfish. Now, supposing history was written by a noble person, the history would have reflected things from all angles, sort of. But history can also be written by selfish people. And so they may write the history to suit their own selfish ambitions and their selfish projections of themselves. Now, I actually said history is not just about people anyway. So likewise, the history of occurrences that happened in the world and everything that we see around us. History may not always be true, but it's essential and important for every human being to try to strive to fix the dots of what had happened in the past so that you can understand why things are happening the way they're happening now. So why should you care? Why should you care about history? Because if you don't know about history, you'll be walking forward blindfolded. You can't see. Or someone can rewrite history and sell it back to you. Or you can forget the price of freedom, the fights, the struggles that happened, the struggles that people went through to bring you to the good life you have now. And so it's important to have the knowledge of history. Now, history is the only place where, wait, just don't tell me. History is the only classroom where dead people are teaching the living. But yes, that's what you should know about history. You need to know about history so that you're not sold things that are not true. So history is not over. Okay, we are still writing history. Everything we're doing is rewriting history, sort of. Every protest that you stand for, fighting against evil, anything you speak out against, the truth you back, or the things you haven't quiet about, the things you are silent about, is history. In fact, even if you decide not to act, you are making history. The person you decide to sort of like create a family with, who will eventually create another family, which will create another family, is already forming history. So you're already forming your family history through that process. So every single thing we're doing is history. Even this video I'm making is history. Wow, making history. I'm making history. Yes. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is every single thing we're doing is history. And so the question now comes, what history do you want to leave behind?